Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm working on part 2 of introducing my OCs. Recap. My story is set in a modern fantasy world where supernatural creatures like werewolves, vampires, and fairies exist alongside humans. It takes place in a city called Wildren that is populated mostly by the supernatural. There are 6 main characters in total, and in the last video I drew Nico and Ophelia, a werewolf and a tiefling. Today I'm drawing the next 2, a vampire sibling duo. I'm starting with the older sibling, Luciana Torres, who I've actually drawn before on this channel in my color palette challenge. Luciana was a human living in Wildren during the 1920s, and she was turned into a vampire when she was 23. As for her brother, Lucas, he was turned when he was 25, 17 years after she was. So I've created an unnecessarily complicated age situation, where Luciana is technically older, being born first, but Lucas is physically older, having aged longer in his human days. I suppose it's not that complicated. In the story, they are among the oldest of the main 6, being around 100 years old. I didn't mention much about the age of the characters in my previous video, but Nico and Ophelia are the youngest of the group. In my personal story notes, I have written down both the real age order of the main characters as well as the physical age they appear as. Ironically, Nico and Ophelia are the oldest when it comes to appearance. Anyway, back to today's characters. You may notice that both their names, Luciana and Lucas, mean light, which may seem like an odd choice for vampire characters, but I promise it'll make sense in a bit. So, as I've mentioned in the first character video, I made some changes to the traditional lore surrounding certain supernatural creatures to fit better with the magic and religious system in my world, and I made the most changes to the vampires. In my story, the sun god, Fina, is also the god of healing and life, and they are responsible for the creation of vampires. So while the traditional lore around vampires is that they are weak to the sun, I decided to change that. A vampire is created when they ask the sun god to save them from death. If this is granted, the sun will heal their nearly dead bodies, giving them strength and invulnerability to most things. Vampires will continue to absorb the sun's light while they live, but while they are in the sun, they lose their invulnerability. So a vampire that sees the sun often can become very strong, but they may be putting themselves in more danger, especially in times or places where others may deem their existence a sin. Do they still drink blood? Yes. By drinking the blood of a living creature, they absorb its vitality. Vitality is what allows them to continue being healed by the sun. It's like in a video game, you can restore HP as long as you still have at least 1 hit point, but if that number reaches 0, then the game is over. So Luciana and Lucas were from a family that worshipped Fina, and when they had their respective inciting incidents, they were allowed a second chance at life. So in the story, Luciana came to own a nightclub called Club Utopia, and for a long time she has been running the city's most popular supernatural hangout spot. While she is not always comfortable meeting her guests face to face, Lucas can often be seen entertaining patrons and filling out where his sister is unable to. And this has been part 2 of introducing my OCs. We'll add the Torres siblings to the character lineup, and there's only one more part left, so stay tuned. If you like this video, subscribe and leave a comment on what other kinds of videos you want to see. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at KaylinVerse to see more of my work. Thanks for watching. Bye.